project until 2024, or any other option the council needs.
Excuse me, no speaking, please. We're in the middle of a meeting. If you need to speak, go outside and have a conversation.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Is there any other option the council deems appropriate?
Discussion.
So that sounds like basically 3 councillors or 3 elected officials could still get together, vote to have a lawyer, legally attack, an opposing councillor.
None of this, nothing I said that, councillor.
Okay, no, I'm just trying to, I'm asking you, is that possible under these proposed changes?
I'm not proposing any particular changes.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
No, this is a report. He's laying out several options. Well, I see 5 options here. And, that's what we should be having a discussion on at this point. It's on page 29.
I have a question. To your knowledge, Mark, do you know if other communities are adopting enforcement provisions? Have you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Most have.
Most have, okay, great.
there's been far worse issues in some other councils, and, they've had to deal with this, and it's driven the same sort of thing. So whatever we do here, I don't think it's gonna be reinventing the wheel. What we have to do is look at, well, this is my opinion, look at what has already happened, probably in larger jurisdictions, and Nanaimo could be an example, and look at how they've dealt with it, how effective it's been. So,
What's happened is similar in other communities, basically, where 3 basically gang up on one that has opposing views and use the code of conduct as the method of silencing them, also bringing legal action against them. And your case has nothing. Basically, your conduct, there was no chance you were going to win. What I did to Mr. Tatchell was wrong. And I admitted that, and basically, I'm hoping that we cleared the air. But the activities of you 3 basically violated the community charter, the code of conduct, and all of you should be disqualified for what you've done.
I know you're trying to create an argument here, but that
A lawyer basically attacked me,
discussion.
and rather than me spending my time dealing with village business, I got served about 400 pages basically, which sidetracked me from doing my responsibilities, all because you don't like my opposing views, or I'm against deficit spending, or if I'm not on your fantasy land priority list.
I'm sorry, it was the fact
So-
that you were lying to us and lying.
Lying, you called me a liar several times in public meetings. You had an outburst in a local business. Your conduct alone should have had you
That's
disqualified.
what this is about. You just want to have a fight right here in council. Can we please?
Okay, we're gonna come up with a
discuss the issue
solution,
here?
then basically
You're
what
just
we should
making
be basically,
accusations. You really want to
Hey,
go back to this
an
again?
object of that is to virtually stop that abuse of power, where 3 of you get together, gang up, you adopt an illegal bylaw in a closed meeting against the community charter, saying that the lawyer will be funded by the village for you, but not for me.
This is
That is an
democracy.
abuse of power, and that is very undemocratic. It's a shameful event.
Can we discuss this, please?
We are discussing it. I'm telling the public what you basically did to me.
I didn't do anything to you. You did it to yourself. You didn't follow.
And answer that without profanity.
And you said things that weren't true. You attacked our staff. We defended our staff. And we will defend our staff if you try that again.
I'm up for debate, but if I expose you for lying to the public, hey, that's not misinformation. That's not me being a liar. That's me catching you in a lie and exposing you.
Let's just deal with this, please. Discussion. Does anybody else have an opinion regarding these options?
I like option 2.
Option 2.
What do you like about it, Councillor Fowler?
I'm sorry, you're not the chair here.
Mr. Mayor, what does Councillor Fowler like about it?
Okay, go ahead.
Gives us review other local code of conduct, other local government's code of conduct, and convene a 2 to 3 hour committee of the whole meeting with staff and legal counsel to discuss and outline the code of conduct enforcement provision. That's what it says.
That's what you like about it.
What I think we should do. Those are the options. I move option 2.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to know what Councillor Fowler or Norcott thinks about it.
Do we have a seconder? A motion was made. Do we have a seconder? No seconder. Okay, continue
Defeated.
the discussion, and I'd like to hear from our other two councillors.
I'd like to hear from Councillor Joseph first, please, ma'am.
Councillor Joseph?
I would like to look at the possibility of doing options 1 and 2. And I feel that I like the idea of transparency and inclusion, but I would also like to be educated in what other communities are doing and also have the chance to talk with the rest of council to have the conversation what we think at that point in time.
We could table this, but I feel like it should be possible to come up with a motion, even if it's a hybrid motion, should anybody want to make that, to at least give staff some instructions so that they can get back to us with that.
So it would be a proposal
sorry.
there that will avoid,
Go ahead, Councillor Joseph.
Did Councillor Northcott have the chance to speak? Did I speak over her?
No.
no, it's my interruption, sorry, Councillor, Joseph.
Councillor Northcott, would you like to speak to that?
I'd just like to know if Councillor Joseph is finished first.
Okay, are you finished for now?
I like the idea of option 1 and 2, yes.
A hybrid of option 1 and 2. But that's not a motion, that's an opinion.
That is an opinion so far. I'd like to hear what Councillor Northcott has to say.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Northcott.
Well, if more than one option is an option, then, I actually do like 1 and 2.
Well, it's certainly council's prerogative if you want to. I mean, you could strike the standing committee, and do it. I mean, the standing committee would then review other local governments' codes of conduct, and discuss, based on what others have done. And I tell you, I mean, having read them myself, I'm sorry, I'm going off a little bit of a tangent here, but there's an incredible range of approaches. So but they are, all of them have a high degree of complexity and a high degree of formality and a high degree of process. And so if that's, I mean, the council just be aware that in looking at what other local governments, these are all mostly larger local governments have done, that that's what you're going to encounter. So I'm just doing that and just to forewarn you a little bit, which is fine. I mean, it's your prerogative, but just to, that there is a high degree of process in all of them. But we will, if council wants to combine 1 and 2, by all means, that can be done, and because the options aren't intended necessarily to be mutually exclusive. They can be combined.
Yeah, one of my concerns is that whatever we get from this, the end result should be something that hopefully creates less of a workload for our staff, seeing as we have a limited number of staff here. We're not a big jurisdiction, whereas larger jurisdictions have a lot of staff